give them an example, strike an example for them. This hayat, that is dunya, this life, that is the low life, or the lower life, meaning the life that we are living now, versus the other one and the higher one that comes in the hereafter. كَمَاءٍ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ, like water that we bring down from the skies, from above. كَمَاءٍ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ فَاخْتَلَطَ بِهِ نَبَاتُ الْأَرْضِ. Then the vegetation of the earth is mixed with it. فَأَصْبَحَ هَشِيمًا تَذْرُوهُ الرِّيَاحِ. Then it became hashim, that is yellow, dry, withered, and the wind will take it away and move it away and move it around. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ مُقْتَدِرًا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was, meaning is, always capable over everything. That is a concept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us about this life. That it has a beginning, but it does have an end. And it has an end that will disappear or go away. But that which in the hereafter, the one that will last. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately after this says, المال والبنون زينة الحياة الدنيا. زينة الحياة الدنيا. That is al-mal, wealth and money, and children, offspring, are the ornament of this life. Are the ornament of this life. وَالْبَاقِيَاتُ الصَّالِحَاتُ خَيْرٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ ثَوَابًا وَخَيْرٌ أَمَلًا. That what stays with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the good deeds, are the good deeds. That will stay. And it is better for you with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is the hope that you have, that you carry from this life, these good deeds that will stay and take it to the hereafter. So there are things that in this life that are ornament, and Allah calls it a zina. And an ornament meaning that it is that which is not essential, right? Whatever is essential that you need to exist with and to work with and so forth. But that which is not essential, it's a zina. It is an ornament. That means you can do without. So this concept, as in Arabic we say, this concept of zuhd, okay? Asceticism. That is, that there are things that you don't take valuable, and most of people take it as valuable. Most people take it as something that is they pay attention to, which it does not benefit here or there. As Imam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah made a statement about this. He said that there is a difference between wara and zuhd. Wara meaning that you let go of something, however, because you're afraid that it might affect you in a negative way in the hereafter, right? So you have, for example, food, and there is some food that you're not sure if it is halal or not. There is some shubha on it, some doubt in it. So you stay away from it because you have wara. You're afraid that if you attend to this, you'll go in the hereafter for something that could harm you. But zuhd is something else. Zuhd is not to pay attention, and you take and you dwell in that which is not benefiting you in the hereafter. Meaning it's not going to harm you, but it will not benefit you. So why do you attend to it and get busy with it if it does not have any benefit in the hereafter? And there is a difference between the two, right? There is something that you can take and you can dwell in and so forth, and there is no harm that will come from it. But really there is no quite benefit in the hereafter for it. So why would you want to waste time with that which you will not have any benefit from in the hereafter? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the word zuhd only once in the Quran. When Yusuf alayhi salam was thrown in the well by his brothers, And then he was found by a caravan who was passing by. Someone went to get water. They found the young man, found Yusuf alayhi salam. They took him up. A man was passing by in a caravan traveling and from Egypt, and they sold him as a slave. Okay, meaning those who found him sold him to that man from Egypt as a slave. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَشَرُوهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ دَرَاهِمَ مَعْدُودًا وَكَانُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الزَّاهِدِينَ. That they sold him was just a coins that you can count, meaning so little. And they had zuhdu in him, meaning that is the only time that Allah used that word, meaning they did not care much about him. They found him, you take him whatever you leave for us, and so it is that attitude that you have with something that is called zuhd. That attitude that you don't put much importance on what you have, and if it goes away, it goes. It doesn't, it's not that essential that in your life. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout the Quran gives us this example. The example of the so little value you should put in this life, unless it is something that you are tilling in the ground of this life to harvest in the hereafter. Right? So when we go with our desires in many aspects of our lives, and once we go after our desires and feed our desires, we are away from this concept of zuhd. And it is concept that is not bad. It is a concept. It is positive. It is a concept that Rasulullah ﷺ lived with and the companions, right? So when Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu gives all his money in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what did he leave for his family? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked him, he said, I left Allah and his messenger, right? So here is someone who really cut off his desires completely, and even more, meaning that the concept of zuhd here that he had is he was trusting what was in the hand of Allah more than what he trusted in his hand. That is an essence of the concept, right? You are doing work and you're giving up things and you're not going after your desires, and you know what Allah has for you is better than what you have now. So it's easy to let go of it. It's easy to stay away from it. It's easy to say, never mind. It is what is left for me in the hereafter with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even not to wait in the hereafter, in this life as well, Allah has better for me in it. Okay? So the scholars look at this as Ibn Qayyim makes comment about this, about the final concept of zuhd, that is, if you are in control of your desire and you are trusting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than what you have in your hand, that is zuhd. We have knowledge and we cannot live without it because we're simply a human being. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created a human being who has choice, a being who makes a decision. And to make a decision, you have to have the knowledge to be able to make a decision. So knowledge in a way of zuhd, as scholars say, that al-ilm duna ri'asa, the knowledge without seeking leadership, right? Meaning you are trying to gain knowledge. Why do we gain knowledge to begin with, right? The knowledge that we acquire, the knowledge that is needed, that we need to implement it, and also we need to teach it to others. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about Adam alayhi salam. The first information that he was able to learn and teach. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught him the names, and then as the angel came to say the names, he couldn't. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him to tell the angels the names. So he told the angels the names. So here is something unique about this being that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just created. He's able to acquire knowledge, teach knowledge, and also he needed to implement it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, now that you have the knowledge, I'm giving you commands now. You do this and you don't do that. You eat from here, you don't get near the tree. That is a knowledge that you take and you implement. So there is a concept of zuhd in all of this. Okay, concept of, letting go with things, with issue within these points. Okay, so you can acquire knowledge. Why do you acquire knowledge? You need to disconnect. Okay, the concept of you gain in knowledge to seek leadership, right? If that is the purpose, now you are looking for this dunya. This is not a path one will take to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is not a path that one will have in his heart, seeking to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hereafter. Because you're seeking for something now. You want the knowledge so you can get some kind of a leadership. Okay? And then they say also, then the knowledge followed by a saying or an action. Okay? According to this knowledge. So the saying, whatever you say, with the knowledge that you meaning you articulate it to others. Okay? Then al-qawlu duna ata. Yeah, the saying without waiting for a compensation. Okay? If you learn and then you want to articulate what you learn to others and seeking for this is the purpose, is to seek compensation in this, then this is not a path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a path of this dunya. It's not a path of zuhd. It's a path of acquiring something in this life. So you acquire the knowledge but not for the sake of leadership. And you articulate that knowledge to others, not for ata, for something that you can gain. Meaning that you do not hold it because of according to what is it in it for you. It does not work that way. And Rasulullah ﷺ told us that those who will be punished in the hereafter with lijamun min nar, that is a mouthpiece like on the horse from fire, the one that they had knowledge and they kept it and they did not articulate it or give it to others. So what is that after that? After that is al-amal. So they say, wal-amal duna ilaqa. That is working without some kind of a relationship, right? Why do you do work? According to the knowledge that you have. Is it because of a certain relationship you're doing the work? Or you're doing the work despite of if there is any relationship or nothing at all? Okay, that is not considered in the action that we do. Okay, so if you consider that holding back the action that you should do, so you could have some kind of a relationship and so forth, that is working for this dunya. And when you think about it, this is what Muslims should be about, right? that acquiring the knowledge, articulating the knowledge, and implementing it. And it could be in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or it could be in a way of this dunya and acquiring this dunya. And I'm not saying that this is something that we sit up and think about it and make a decision about it. It becomes naturally. The kind of life that we live in here in meaning here in the West, and here in this time of history, okay? It is a life that has to do with this dunya, has to do with acquiring and gaining something now. Okay, and it comes in and creeps up in us without us really realizing it. It becomes a part of who we are, especially our children and our youth. It just becomes because this is the environment that we are in. But we need to step back. We need to step back and think and look at what this life is about and how we are being affected by it and how we are actually affected, how we can manipulate it in a way that is positive. How when we are teaching, we're teaching this concept, the concept of that is you are acquiring, implementing, saying, working. Why? Because you are going to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? All of this that you're trying to cut yourself off of, it might come along with you. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided for you that this will come along with you, that's fine. But it's not part of that something that you are working for. Right? So, as one companion was asked, is Could someone having, millions of dinars have zuhd? They said yes. If the money that he has is not in his heart and is not in control of him, actually, he can be a very rich person and a zahid at the same time. Okay? On the other hand, someone can claim to be a zahid and he does not have much. That is not, that we don't know now, right? You have so little, you say, I have so little because I'm a person who is zahid in this dunya and so forth. No. That the issue is when you have so much, now what are you going to do with it? Okay? So you don't look at the situation that you're in, you say, I'm this way because I have such qualities and so forth. No. And this is part of the test of this life, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us this dunya in many ways, in many directions. How are you going to handle it? How are you going to, use a scissor and cut off that which is not essential and keep that with you which is barely essential? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to understand what is the meaning of as-sirat al-mustaqim, the straight path. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to be on it. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فادعوه يستجب لكم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين ورحمة الله للعالمين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. الحمد لله for the ni'mah of Islam, for the ni'mah of Iman, for the ni'mah of understanding, or to begin on the path of understanding what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us. Alhamdulillah that we have the knowledge about death. We have the knowledge about the hereafter. We have the knowledge about the reality of the existence that is absolute, and we know what it is. And there is no other way but the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about the hereafter and death and what goes on afterwards. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam built the masjid, the first khutbah that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gathered the believers and gave, the subject of the khutbah was death. You would think that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam starting in a community without an oppression from the outside now, right? No Quraysh around, no oppression around, and now we're starting, a new page in the history of Islam with Rasulullah ﷺ as a prophet of Allah, as the head of the state at the same time. What would be the subject that Rasulullah ﷺ would pick? He picked the subject of death. So he gathered the companion and told them in very beautiful, small sentences and speech about death, reminding them, okay? يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم واعلموا أنكم مسحوقون. That is, oh people, have taqwa toward Allah, protect yourself from Allah, meaning the wrath of Allah, and be conscious of Allah, and know that you are dying, or you are dead, meaning you are in that process, okay? And وَتَرِكُونَ, and you will leave, okay? That is, your sheep, meaning, an expression, those who are taken care of, and you do not have any, and you will not have anyone to take care of them after you, right? You will die, and those that you are taking care of, you will leave them. Okay, meaning be aware that you will leave and do the good, so it will stay for those that you are taking care of, that will stay around after you die. And know that you'll be standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَيْسَ بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ تُرْجُمَانٍ. You have nothing between you and Allah, no translator between you and Allah. No, you don't need someone to explain things. You are understood and you will understand. You'll stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without anyone in between. Then you will look at in your right and you will find nothing. And you will look on your left and you'll find nothing. And you will look ahead, you'll see hellfire. فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ وَلَوْ بِشِقِّ تَمْرَةٍ. Then protect yourself from hellfire even with a half of a date. Protect yourself from the hellfire even with a half of a date. This is the concept that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam started the masjid with. Okay, that it is not thinking about this dunya, it's thinking about the hereafter. Thinking about individually, you're going to be standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is, and at the same time, when Rasulullah sallam tell the companions how Islam will spread and so forth and so on, yes, but this concept must be continuous with everything that they did, and it was with everything that they did was with them. So the dunya was in their hand, it was not in their heart. As we start to establish the community, or to continue establishing the community, this is a bounty that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon us. Gave us now a place that we say, okay, we gather in and we are sort of, Allah put us in charge of it. Okay, not somebody else's place. Okay, this is a bounty, this is a gift that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. Will we have challenges? Of course. Okay, and the work is just starting. Okay, but again, it is the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as individually and collectively. We need to look at this dunya from an angle that it is not in our heart, it is in our hand. And we need to look at the hereafter and death that is very near, closer to us than the hellfire or paradise, closer to us than the sole of the shoes that we have on. That's what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Meaning it is you die, you're not very far from it. Okay? If this concept comes to our heart and settle it in our heart, and we do the work with that in mind and in the heart, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put barakah in what we have. It is always when you do so, Allah will do so. In tansurullah yansurkum wa yuthabbit aqdamakum. You give Allah victory, Allah will give you victory. الذين إن مكناهم في الأرض أقاموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وأمروا بالمعروف ونهوا عن المنكر. Okay? وإلى الله ترجع الأمور. That is those that we will give them some kind of a tamkeen, meaning the believer. When we give them tamkeen, meaning a control on something or on the earth, what do they do? أقاموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وأمروا بالمعروف ونهوا عن المنكر. That is, establish the prayer, give zakah, command what is good, and prohibit what is evil. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that all matters goes back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. اللهم أنت أعلم بما في قلوبنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. اللهم أنت أعلم بحاجتنا منا فاقضها لنا. اللهم أنت أعلم بسرنا وعلانيتنا فتقبل معذرتنا. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وقوموا إلى الصلاة يرحمكم الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة وقد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
استووا واعتدلوا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. هل أتاك حديث الغاشية وجوه يومئذ خاشعة عاملة ناصبة تصلى نارا حامية تسقى من عين آنية ليس لهم طعام إلا من ضريع لا يسمن ولا يغني من جوع وجوه يومئذ ناعمة لسعيها راضية في جنة عالية لا تسمع فيها لاغية فيها عين جارية فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة ونمارق مصفوفة وزرابي مبثوثة أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام
جزاكم الله خير Sheikh Mahmoud for beautiful khutbah. And alhamdulillah, congratulations everyone. This is like a historic day here. This is the first official Jum'ah we have it in the new masjid. So alhamdulillah, this is a day to celebrate inshallah our success to get the new place. And inshallah, may Allah support all of us to make it inshallah bigger and bigger community and have good activities and the school activities and everything to help our community inshallah. So inshallah we are thinking to keep it limited for Jum'ah as we are doing today. We are not advertising it to the public. So until we see inshallah what we can do next. So we need to know inshallah every Jum'ah how many people can allow to come here. So we have to make a limit. Also we are limited for the parking spaces outside. We don't have many spaces. I think you have like 14 or 16 spaces will be limited outside. So inshallah, until next further notice, inshallah, we can send announcement about it. Just we keep it limited for now. As we did today, everybody will bring the mask and musalla, like a prayer carpet with us. And inshallah, hopefully soon this pandemic will be over and we'll come back to normal activity so we can celebrate like with a big crowd as it used to be. And we may have extension inshallah outside somewhere. I'm sure there is a big community will be coming here to celebrate that too. And also inshallah I will let Sheikh Mahmoud say a word inshallah.
السلام عليكم. One essential thing that we need to be very aware of and very careful with are the neighbors. Okay, we have to be really good with the neighbors. Okay, this area do not know Muslims, do not have interaction with many Muslims, so they don't know what to expect from us. And going on in the future, we're going to need permit after another in different things, because you know how things works. You need something, you need to put a permit and get approval, and every time there's an approval, the neighbors have to approve and so forth with it. So parking, we have to be very careful, okay, not to get near any place around at all, okay. Eventually, if the cars are too many here, we have across the street, there is a park, a public park, okay, Alpha Ridge Park, okay, that we might be able to use. And we'll go in details as we are growing and so forth. But the relationship with the neighbors has to be number one issue here, inshallah. Jazakumullah.